Greetings, it's Intuitive Jakob back, and I'm here to do a Mercury Retrograde reading. We are stepping into Mercury Retrograde on the 7th. We've been in the pre-shadow for a little while now, and this season, Mercury is actually going between two signs. The sign of Cancer, we started the pre-shadow period, late degrees, 23 degrees, Cancer. We are going Mercury Retrograde in 2 days from now on the 7th. At 4 degrees Leo, and by the time we are going direct again on the 31st of July, we'll be back in Cancer at 24 degrees. There are some interesting interplays with planetary matters, specifically with Pluto in retrograde, Uranus in retrograde, and how Mercury and Mars are planets of communication, how we fight and how we bleep, we'll just say F, and how people might be acting, especially in regards to how healing is coming forward. Retrograde seasons tend to be like a big sweeping magnet of particles that bring things back. So it's a time to review, a time to reflect, and sometimes things just come back in our faces, like relationships and things that had gone missing, and sometimes we're like, get out of here, I don't miss you at all. So could be a mixed bag for many of you. I'm going to ask that you know your own stories, your own genders, and know whether or not these depictions will apply to you. I will be doing 12 different readings, one for each of the 12 tribes. Make sure you check your sun, your moon, and your rising with me, because I'm actually more of a moon reader guy. And I will also say I'm focusing mostly on the healing energy in this. We have Chiron making a very strong appearance here at 4 degrees Aries. Wherever you might have that located, whatever is going on in your house of Aries may be influenced heavily with this type of healing that's coming forward. So I'm doing a 5-card spread for each of you. It's a cross, and with my cross readings, we can look at past, present, future, and have an idea of what reasons and potentials are, but really this is to give us an idea of situations, challenges, what our overall guidance is, how we're being focused, and more or less what we can determine an outcome to be, to give us an idea of how we might want to interact or not with certain people, places, and situations, because TBH, I keep hearing this is sort of a stifling, heavy, almost like wet blanket energy for some people. So many of us will be challenged by people who would like to influence a certain way, and it could be a time for power struggles to present themselves. Not that we have to participate in that, and I will just caution on that because I just keep hearing about people's impulses and the reasons why they might machinate towards another person. So we're going to take a look at that now, and I wanted to thank all of you who subscribe to my channel and those of you who support my spirit work. I really appreciate the thumbs up, especially if you appreciate my work or like the style of reading. And if you do, hit that little bell. It'll let you know when I upload more videos. All right, we'll see you on the inside of your video. Hey, what's going on, Scorpio? Thanks for being here. I've been shuffling and clearing energies here for you. And we're going to light the rest of this incense before we get started. I had to keep starting and stopping, and I was getting a really palpable sensation inside my body, and I heard some of y'all might be dealing with some kind of indigestion or like an acid sort of situation, and they're talking to me about somebody's musculoskeletal situation being triggered or like activated at this time. And I'm hearing that you might need to look at getting more basic in your diet and less acid producing foods to like bring that down. It's a very specific message for somebody, probably not for all of you, but it was coming up while I was clearing the space here, so I thought I would mention it to you, Scorpio, because this is a season where we have some time to heal from things, time to revisit things. So let's see what's going on here with your 5 cards. I'm going to go ahead and flip what is facing us. It's sort of a theme. Okay, so Three of Pentacles showing up here. Just looking at me in this situation, I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like the end of third-party involvement in whatever's been going on in your relationships. It might have something to do with your home or work. For some of y'all, this might actually be your current relationship with somebody, but I'm hearing there might have been just an overturning of what was going on there. There's a couple things that are looking out from under here. Oh yeah, so Knight of Pentacles reversed, and at the very bottom, this Five of Swords. I'm hearing you guys might be dealing with some people that have just been petty and argumentative. It might have been the end to a workplace dispute is what I'm hearing. But it's like somebody was trying to take you off of your game is what I'm hearing. And whoever it is, it might have been a really big deal in May for some of you all. You might be dealing with somebody. I'm hearing Taurus, or maybe you have Taurus in your own birth chart here. The 5 showing up real strong for me, but this air suit is usually like a Gemini, a Libra, or Aquarius that you might have been dealing with. But there's 3 people here in this conflict that was going on, and I'm seeing like this might be about somebody's baby or about their pregnancy, because I'm just seeing like this person that sometimes is the woman who was with child that nobody knew about. It was like a pregnancy in secret. I'm hearing some things about distortion, lies, and like a third party that needed to come to an end. And so let's see what's going on. Yeah, okay, so Temperance is looking at me reversed underneath this too. Sagittarian influence, perhaps. I'm hearing for some of y'all this just has to do with what happened around the full moon when things were illuminated, and why some of y'all might have chosen to take a step back or away from whatever this third party situation was, or a workplace dispute. All right, let's see what's going on here in the center of the reading, because this is the overall situation of the present here, and looking at the 2 of Wands. Also in reverse here, Scorpio. So I'm hearing for some of you all, this has to do with a decision that you've been putting off. For some of you, you waited too long to make the decision is what I'm hearing, and it's like something just changed on you, and maybe that was the reason to just let it go. I'm hearing I'm hearing like let it go. And for others of you, this is about how a decision was made without your approval, and they're telling me it's like literally like somebody went behind your back and did that. And so there are different things that might be coming to the forefront about that, but if this has to do with people, they've been somehow connected to, I'm hearing how you make your money, because this is somebody who is standing there waiting for something that might have felt like they made a decision. And so for some of you, either the decision was made for you, or it's something that you kind of just like gave up on and it changed around you, is how I'm being shown that. Let's see what else we can find out about this, because the recent past is going to give us an idea of the challenge to this situation. And I'm hearing it was just being in limbo and not doing anything for some of you, because we got a strong energy showing up here with the Hanged Man, the hanged person here. This is somebody that is maybe meditating, maybe taking their time. Sometimes they're suspended, hanging in limbo. And I'm hearing for some of you, it's like you were just waiting for the clock to turn. It's like somebody who was just staring at the clock is what I'm seeing. And it's like they were waiting for something to come to pass. And for some of you, it was waiting for somebody to come back and make a decision to embrace, is what I'm hearing. But there's a third party that was involved here, is what I'm hearing. And it looks like it got argumentative for some of you. I'm hearing for some others of you, this is about your willingness to be honest with yourself about how you pass the time and how much you actually know, because they're telling me some of you are coming to terms with what you might actually be able to do because of certain gifts that you have that maybe you haven't acknowledged to other people. And in some cases you had acknowledged them and you were being taken advantage for them, is what I'm hearing. So I don't know if this is making sense for some of you, but you're going to know if this is the case if you're especially a sensitive person. Like, I just keep noticing all this light around this person's head here and how enlightened they might be about something, but also unwilling to take a move because it's kind of an awkward position. This is, it looks really yogic to me, but this person's hanging upside down on this T-cross. And whatever they know doesn't seem to motivate them enough to do anything because the hangman isn't doing anything. It's like they're waiting for something to happen. They're feeling tied up sometimes, but it's like they know something that they just haven't been motivated to do. And I just keep seeing that, especially if this was like a workplace thing, there's some gossip around it is all I'm hearing, because it's like my nose starts itching when I mention work and see these 3 people here not being cooperative, and what might have happened in May is what I'm hearing. But somebody's going to get served something, and I'm hearing it might be paperwork. It might have something to do with whoever this woman is here. For some of you all, this might actually have been you. This could be you, regardless of your gender. This 9 of Pentacles person is set up really well. This is a great card for an entrepreneur or a career person. When it's showing up upside down, though, especially around bad third-party involvements and crappy communication, where just hearing about like gossipy fake friends or people that you might be involved with at work that get too involved, and I keep seeing them like with their hands on your money is what it is. And there's other cards trying to show up, and I can get too tempted to just pull these apart and start reading all the stories. I'm going to focus on here a little bit and see what else we can get with that. But I'm hearing that for some of you, it's like now you're being faced with having to either turn your back because something dried up around you. It's like cooperation dried up around you, or you just gave up on making a decision about involving certain people that really weren't showing up, is what I'm hearing. It's like they might have said they were there. They might have shown up in your physical realm, like you see these people there, but they're not really participating with you in a way that's gainful, and looking at somebody who maybe just got tired of waiting, and it's like they gave up, is what I'm hearing. Let's see what we can learn about the near future here, because there's a guidance card here for this, Scorpio. And, okay, so this I'm actually kind of liking. This is interesting. Was it? I think it was Libra that was seeing this card. It was the same position, but it was upright for them, which I didn't really like so much. But you might not be dealing with a Libra. Maybe you are. Maybe you have Libra in your chart. If so, I'm going to recommend that you check out that reading too, perhaps, if this makes sense to you, if you want a little more information. But this card, 5 of Pentacles, if I'm going to see it somewhere, especially in somebody's future, I would rather not see it upright, because this sort of forebodes toward a time of being out in the cold, you know? And the only thing good about this card showing up in that position generally is, you know, there's somebody with you hobbling along in the dark. It's like at least you have companionship. But here, what I'm hearing for you all is much better, because it's actually showing up in reverse. And so it's like maybe realizing that whatever was happening where you were out in the dark, perhaps about a third-party situation, yeah, because it's like somebody was trying to take something out of your hand is what I'm hearing. It's like, my hand just starts itching right here. If this had to do with somebody trying to put their hand on your money, or maybe the person in your life, I'm hearing, your ears were itching, you knew it, and maybe it was something that you felt around you, and you didn't have the information to do something about it. And I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like turning your back on all those hard times and just like not giving an F about how that goes down, and it actually being a good thing, because this will be an end to you feeling shut out. And so if you've been feeling shut out by somebody, or like, I'm hearing he, so just bear with me please on the gender thing. Know your own characters and whether or not this is applicable for you. But I'm hearing about third party situation and somebody that's just like, I heard the do it over dad, whatever that means, but it's like he was not willing to do much. And it's like putting up a verbal front. I'm hearing it's like there was some real cutting communication that was going on with this, and I'm hearing it was verbally abusive and like a nightmare for some of you. It's just like whoever this guy is a real chucklehead. You know, he's real smug. He's over here with this look on his face, you know? And there's some people here that look like they were assaulted or abused, and they look like they might be crying. Like somebody looks like he's like crying over there by the water. And this guy over here looks like he might have been stabbed. He's bloody. But my shoulder just popped when I was looking at that. I get serious empathy pain, so I don't know if somebody injured their back or their shoulder here while they were dealing with this and feeling strung up on something. Ugh. But I'm hearing whatever it was, that shit is over, Scorpio. And some of you all might not have taken an active role in ending it. I'm hearing some of you felt like you couldn't. It was like it tied up your money. It might have been a house situation where you just felt like you were stuck. But whatever it was, it's coming to an end. And I love seeing that Five of Pentacles in reverse for you, because that heralds that whatever that was had to change. Even if you weren't making that direct decision, even if you decided that you weren't going to make that decision yourself. Go over there, baby. Go over there. Sorry, my little girl is jumping on me. I'm hearing, we've got a couple of Pentacles cards showing. Actually, I've seen 1, 2, 3 of them showing up. There's a good chance that this definitely has, bless you, to do with your physical material realm, but it could also deal with people that have strong earth element in their chart. So you might have people that either have Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus in their natal chart. But man, my hand just started itching when I said Taurus. It feels like somebody literally went in and tried to take something from some of you all. And I hope they get exposed for this. Let's see what else we can find out. This fourth card is a focus. It's sort of a reason for why things are. Let's take a look at what the cards have. So 4 of Swords. So that's somebody resting in bed. And I'm hearing somebody might have had a surgery or a procedure that didn't go well, and that might be why they were in bed. Ugh. I'm hearing about bed rest. I'm hearing about somebody else being put to rest, that it was like waiting because I don't know if this person was in hospice. It doesn't seem like they'd been in hospice this whole time. It sounds like somebody might have lost their housing situation or something because of whoever this is. I don't know if this is a relative to you, Scorpio. This might be specific for only some people. But they're talking to me about like a situation. I'm seeing 2 people here in the stained glass, and it being like a living arrangement that had been going on, and then somebody having been turned over to hospice care and like waiting for whatever had to come to pass, and feeling like it was like a desperate broken time. And I'm hearing it was maybe like 4 to 5 weeks that you've been dealing with this, with Pluto in retrograde and like all these things happening, Saturn in retrograde. My condolences if you lost somebody, especially if that happened to be a child, because I'm seeing somebody that might have had some fertility issue here too, with the 9 of Pentacles there, and the little bird, and some things that people might have had to put to rest. But I'm hearing about it being the end of that time, where you were just in limbo waiting for this thing to happen that was inevitable, that maybe forced a decision here. And I'm hearing like forced. But yeah, 4 of Swords, this is sometimes, I mean, this is a more mental energy, because the swords are going to have to deal with how we communicate, how we think, the things that we're planning to do. It's And it's more so when we're seeing the past being somebody in maybe a meditative state there, like this hanged person, and then a focus being on how somebody meditates or is at rest, perhaps recovering from surgery. This is what happens after the Three of Swords, after the heartbreak, after the cuts. And before, somebody often finds themselves in a battle. And so they're explaining it to me like, you've been through all of that. And that this focus is maybe telling you that at this time, especially if you're coming out of a more desperate time, especially if you had to change jobs or let a job go because it was too draining. I'm hearing mentally draining, mentally exhausting, and I'm hearing adrenal fatigue, that some of you might be like coming out of a state where it's like you don't even realize how exhausted you've been. And this happens a lot of times, Scorpio, when people are highly sensitive beings. You might be hyper intuitive, you might be a hypersentient being, that you don't realize how much stress it is to hold other people's space the way you do until something comes and changes. And then you have that jolt happen in your energy where it's like, whoa, it like took your energy. And then, you know, you can kind of catch yourself sorting it out like, wait a second, is this from this uncooperative situation that I felt like was always in my presence, and where you feel like you have these characters showing up all the time like they're really there, but they're really kind of more like nincompoops, and you know, they really leave you more feeling, when you should be grounded, less grounded, and like you have to watch your back. Because I'm hearing for some of you, this is like harsh reality check stuff that was like a wake up that happened around you, even if you were asleep, you know, if you were like in a meditative state. And that might sound weird, but I know for some of you that's absolutely the case. But yeah, they're saying something definitely. I mean, I'm seeing like 2 5s here, which for me a lot of times has to deal with when things happened and a lot of changes going on and sometimes uncomfortable energies. So whatever it was, they're saying it might have been going on for a couple of months. I'm hearing since May for some of you. Let's see what else we can find out about this situation here, because right over here overhead we've got a potential outcome, and this is justice in reverse. And I'm hearing for some of you all, don't freak out, this is just pending. And they're telling me for some of you all, that might be what you need to wait for, and that, maybe why some of you are willing to feel like you're on unstable footing somewhat is because, and why you've been in this meditative kind of inert state is maybe because of something that you have to wait for before you open your mouth, is what I'm hearing. But I'm hearing for some of you all, you need to know that this is also letting you know that you might need to take some action, especially if you have had some people take advantage of your work. Because I'm hearing about an IP, somebody's intellectual property, and somebody that just tried to get their hands on your project is what it is. And it was something that you were too trusting about, I'm hearing, because it's like, if I see these together like this is good. This is somebody that's made a decision, they're passionate about the direction they're going, they're about to send their ships out, they've done good work with good people, and when they both show up like this, it's kind of like, wait a second, I thought I had partnership, I thought I made a good decision, I sent my energies out for this, and now I'm finding out that I might have had a real jerk in my midst. They keep talking to me about this Sagittarius full moon, what happened a couple weeks ago, and there's a strong Sagittarian influence on this Temperance card. You may or may not have Sag in your chart or know somebody that's got Sun, Moon, or Rising in Sag, but whoever this angel is that shows up in reverse, I don't like it. I love it when this card is upright because this is like beyond the magician. This is the mage that has transcended it all. It's like that heaven and earth angel that can embody and be in the form and keep their toe in the water and still kind of be hovering and standing on earth and galvanizing their talents. They've trined within. They've got that trinity within them. They might be health-minded. And when they show up like this, it's like false healer, bad healer, somebody that would take advantage and literally put a baby up for auction, is what I heard. And so for some of you, this is dealing with a bad parent. I'm hearing about that do-it-over dad or do-over dad. I don't know what that means to some of you, but I'm hearing that he might need some butt kicking. And you might know that that's why you're keeping your mouth shut, just because you're a fair person. And if you're not, or if you're being motivated to go after somebody, I'm going to caution that you don't. This is a time where people's impulses might really be pushing them. And so, especially seeing this here in reverse, I'm going to recommend getting some help, Scorpio. If you've got a legal issue, you might have some help there. And you might also be in a situation where you're finding out that the help that you've been paying for was not that good and it's time to fire somebody. But I'd like to get some more information on this because this is actually kind of bothering me a little bit. Let's see what we can find out with the Sibilas, Scorpio. Because justice could be pending on this too. And I'm hearing for some of you, if this isn't justice not happening, it's more of like a pending situation, and things can go slow during retrograde season. Know that if you're signing papers or if you're trying to hire somebody or somebody's asking you for money to help with a legal situation, make sure you check them out real well and that you're reading things very, very, very well, especially if it's about your home, your assets, and really your child. I'm hearing for some of you this is about children. This is about a situation where somebody's not being very cooperative and you might be trying to figure out how to get the money right and some sort of separation where somebody had to walk away from the partnership. Let's see here. What do we need to know about this? Justice in reverse for our Scorpio for healing over this Mercury retrograde period. Gonna do it right there. Alright, so La Nemica. That is the enemy in this deck. We have two enemies that show up in the deck of Sibilas here. One is this female enemy, we also have a male enemy, but whoever has been two-faced and maybe working at odds with you, see they've got a dagger in their hand there, is showing up. And I'm hearing for some of you this is about a bad medical procedure and somebody who knew they were not qualified to do the job. And there's somebody's baby there. So for some of you all, you had a third-party interloper. Hearing about a medical procedure, something that happened in the neonatal ward. For some of you, and for somebody else, like if this has nothing to do with your children, this is just exposing some really shitty characters that wanted to get in your way. They might have tried to put their hand on your baby, you know, like your intellectual property, whatever this project was that you've been working on. But I keep hearing the baby is safe now. You need to know, like, whatever it is, the project is safe. And I'm hearing if this was something that was, like, mentally caustic for you, that your project is actually safe somehow. And that might be why you've been keeping your mouth shut about something. In which case, I'm going to say, good decision. And it might be another 5 to 6 weeks before you can open your mouth about it, is what I'm hearing. I don't know if you have a gag on you, and maybe that's what this is, but I was hearing about this for somebody else too. I think it was in the Libra about a gag that somebody might have had on them. Oof, itching all over on that one. And yeah, here's the knuckleheads. All right. So idilidanti, whoever these people are, might be drunks, might be some kind of hoodlums, but these are three knuckleheads that need each other to even stand up straight. Sometimes they're just loud, making a scene, but I'm hearing it's like bad partnership. And in some cases, realizing that it was just some bad decisions being made around you the whole time, where somebody might have been covering up what they were doing, like they were real heartfelt and helping you. And I'm hearing it might have been somebody you hired to help you, and they were taking cheap shots, cheap stabs, but the baby is protected. There's a halo of protection around this child, or whatever the start was, and it might have something to do with this domestico. Whoever this domestico is showed up here. I'm hearing he might have shown up in service. He might have been somebody that walked in on something. He might have been somebody that knew what happened in that room, but I'm hearing whatever he was doing protected this child, and I literally see this wrap around this baby being like the jacket that this man is wearing, that it's like he went around and wrapped up this child. And I'm hearing for some of you all, maybe that's the do it over dad. You know, maybe you've been leaving a situation and have been waiting for some financial things to clear up and some divorce papers to be signed so that you could actually have the right man there. And, you know, I say the right man, she, they, other, know who it is that you might be bringing into your life, but it might be somebody that protected your family here that you've been waiting to be closer to. And I'm hearing that is on the way here, and there's just a lot of Libra influence all over this, because that's a Libra card for me too, Justice. I'm seeing another 11 here, and 11 might be especially important for some of you, but whoever it is that you need to call upon, make sure you do it at a time that's good for you, and just know that if you have a character that's reminding you of this domestico person, this is usually somebody you can trust. This is usually somebody who is going to be trustworthy about what you tell them, and they come with like their hand open to serve, is what I'm hearing. So you're gonna know if that's for you, Scorpio. I hope this is helpful. I would love to hear your comments on this. Hit me with a thumbs up if you like the reading. I really appreciate it. And if you would like a reading done with just your energy, hit me up at artoflove.me there. My information is also below in the description. I'd love to take a look with just your energies for you. And if I don't hear from you, take care, be well. I'll catch you again soon when we're back for another one. Bye for now.